Hi, my love. It's your Emily, the girl from around the way, where we have culture, conversation, and community. And I'm coming to you all with some commentary on this unfortunate event and circumstance that we find our darling Keke Palmer in currently. So, before I get into my commentary, make sure you like and, more importantly, subscribe to the channel because I'm trying to get to that 10K by the end of the day. And I would love to have you subscribe to the channel and become a part of the family. Period. So let's just hop into it. I know that there's going to be a lot of coverage about this whole situation and Keke Palmer and her baby daddy and this, that, and the third. But I want y'all to know that this is not a Keke session. There's nothing funny. There's nothing, you know, entertaining about DV. Okay. And I'm gonna, tread lightly because you two do not be playing. They do, especially don't be playing with me. Um, so we see Keke Palmer's mom appear, look like she just rolled out of bed, and she was like, "You know what? Enough's enough. I have to let this be known." And she goes on and she's cussing. Oh, Mama is cussing, Mama Sharon. And she's just like, "I'm not going to sit by and let you just talk all crazy to me." So what happens is Keke Palmer has now at this point of the time of me recording this video has been granted sole custody of her infant son and a temporary restraining order against his father, Darius Jackson. So because of this, he's also going to have to turn in his handgun to the police. And, I don't know, you can also press charges, but you can also get a restraining order. We don't know if she's pressing charges at this point, but she do know enough's enough. So just a little trigger warning here. This content is a little heavy, especially for women who have gone through traumatic situations with men or, their child's father, however you want to flip it or dip it, girl. This is just a small disclaimer that this content might be a little triggering. I don't want to get anybody upset. It was kind of upsetting for me to see the images that was released online. I won't be posting the images. You can find them somewhere circulating around. This is a young black girl. This is a mother, a black girl. Like I'm just not doing that. I just won't. There's going to be plenty of people who do that anyway. But we're just here to kind of discuss and open up the conversation. So I think this happened yesterday. She, put in a protective order against her father, the father of her son, because he had been apparently physically abusive and emotionally abusive. He trespassed on her home without her knowledge or consent. And he kind of lunged at her neck and was striking her and threw her over the couch and took her phone and sped off. The security footage shows images and stills of this said attack that apparently happened around 2022. So for the men who's like, "Oh, this happened, 2 years ago," or whatever the case, it does not matter. From anybody's experience or from where I'm standing, when you are involved with an abuser and they continue to do it, the abuse continues to get worse. So Keke just, outlines that there were many instances of physical violence, whether it was him destroying her personal property, eyeglasses, diaries, throwing her stuff into the street, her car keys, preventing her to drive, hitting her in front of their son, cursing in front of their son about her to the mom, threatening to unalive himself, okay, and other types of harassment and physical and emotional abuse. This is classic. This is classic. I'm going to intimidate you. I'm going to take your things. Again, abuse in this way is always progressive. First, it's I'm going to slap something out of your hand, and the progression of that is next I'm going to slap you. So I just want to get into some commentary. Before I do, let me just finish going through everything. The brother, Sharonis, I don't even know how to say his name, girl. Sharuki, whoever the fuck he is. I didn't even like him on Insecure, was playing around with Molly. He was a fuckboy in Molly. And according to Mama Sharon, he is a fuckboy in Hollywood as well. He's entered the chat and he said something, alleging that, Miss Sharon was making threats to him and the whole world is going to see, this is very vile and abusive. I've never seen anything like this. And Miss Sharon, the world is going to have to, hear your voice very, very soon. I find that interesting. The most interesting thing is that you see images of your brother being physical with the mother of his child, but yet you choose to attack this woman, this grown woman. Okay, Miss Sharon said that I came to you and I told you about your brother and your brother abusive ways, and you told me I used to do the same thing, and I grew out of it essentially because people think that that's a phase. No, that's a character flaw. That's you not having the proper supports and coping mechanisms as a child. Therefore, it manifests itself as an adult by way of abuse and an unhealthy treatment of yourself and those around you. So Saran has felt like, nah, I'm about to speak on my name because, I'm not doing that, this, that, and the third. And sir, you didn't make yourself look any better. So instead of you, talking about the images that we see your brother in, you decide to attack the mom. It's like gaslighting. You know what I mean? And the baby daddy Darius came out and he posted a picture of his son. I'll see you soon, son, which is melodramatic. He definitely had a different energy than the still images that I've seen when he was tussling with KEKE, who was, bare bottom exposed, chilling in her home, with the father of her child and her baby. Now it's I'll see you so soon, son. And this is the thing. These men will go on and gaslight you and do all of these things. And then it's, I'll see you later, son, and I can't be with my son. It's not that you can't be with your child. It's just that you are a danger to my well-being and to potentially my child. All right, so back to Sarunas Jackson, Mr. Fuckboy of Hollywood. The world is going to hear your voice. And here's the thing. We've never heard from Mama Sharon. We never hear from her. We see her occasionally. This is my first time seeing Keke Palmer's mom in all of this time of me being a fan of hers, okay? And I believe every word that woman is saying. I truly do, because we don't even see her. She stay out the way, clear and clean. She stays out of the way, but she's going to speak on her child who's going through an abusive situation, and she's going to take up for her family in a situation where Black women are, one, never believed, and two, made fun of. And, we do these things for clicks and base, but we're not really talking about the root, okay? And if she did threaten his family, and are we gonna be so upset? Like, because here's the thing: if somebody come over to you, open up your door and smack you, or hurt your dog or hurt your child, you liable to say some shit and you liable to do some shit. Come on, be for real. So even if he releases some audio, of Mama Sharon saying something, oh well, player. She's stepping behind hers. And I feel like every woman understands that. I don't even know where Keke Palmer's father is, but if you have a mom and she riding for you, she gonna step all the way. So you look even more silly, Sarunas Jackson. And I had no clue that these two guys were married. So this man is constantly living in the shadow. He's living in the shadow of his brothers. He's now living in the shadow of his girl. And he can't deal. Keke outlines how he's jealous. And I knew something wasn't right about that Usher moment. Something just did not sit right in the way that he said it. Was calm. It wasn't like, It was almost like we all thought it was a joke. But you're a mother. You know what I mean? Like, what? That was a red flag right there. And, keep in mind, Keke is very private. I know this has to be hard. And not even you, regular Black women right now, I don't want to say Black women, okay? Regular women right now is involved with somebody who they've been with, whether they have children or not. And they don't want to go through the embarrassment of it all, because how can this happen to me? Maybe it wasn't that bad. And it depends on where you are in the stage and cycles of abuse, how it actually registers in your mind. Because sometimes these abusers will have you thinking it really is my fault. Okay? It's a real thing. Your brain gets rewired. You start to think, I need to do things better. I'm going to try to do things differently. The whole time you're being gaslit by a narcissist or an abuser or whatever the case may be. And we internalize these things, especially at this very vulnerable stage. As her son is maybe 8 months. She's still very much newly postpartum, right? So I can totally see, relate, and understand Keke waiting to see how these things play out because, in all fairness, a new baby changes things. It changes things for the mother, our body, our temperament, our hormones, our this, our that. And the same can happen for a man. That the man is no longer, men somehow become decentered because all of the focus for at least at a minimum the first 3 months is Rocky. Okay. And then she's also still having to work and to navigate that. And it makes perfect sense why she was so private. Also, to keep in mind, Keke is a good Virgo. Okay, one thing about a Virgo, they love a good project. All right, the Virgos they just love it. They love a good project. They like a fixer upper. Okay, they're gonna add their little Virgo flair, and I can fix you. I can do this until you can't anymore. Okay, so I don't want to say I'm surprised because y'all, wherever you are under the sound of my voice, whether it is you or someone we all have been in terrible relationships when things get out of control. And as women, as Black women, our natural instinct is to protect these men. He made a mistake. He's struggling. And I can make him a priority over myself because I'm just so loving. I'm just so nurturing. I'm just that great. And if you've ever gone through anything like this, I'm sending you so much love and so much light. I'm sending you so much healing. You have to heal from this, ladies. This isn't easy. This isn't just like, oh, I was with an abuser and now I'm good. I'm straight. I'm outside. I mean, you could, but those things still stick with you. It's almost like that statistic. I don't know it for a fact, I'm not going to Google it is what I'm trying to say, but like if you have ever been a victim of the R word that rhymes with grape, you are 3 times more likely to experience it later on in life. It's like you have that scarlet letter on you. The same applies with abuse if you don't do the work and you don't get the healing that you need. Okay? So if you've ever been in an abusive relationship, you have that scarlet letter to that. An abuser can just sniff you out of a crowd, much like somebody who has been raped before. Their chances increase once that happens to them. These images are disturbing. I don't, I'm not going to come on here, with shits and giggles today. There's nothing to kiki about that. That's no pun intended. It's very sad that an 8-month-old baby is involved, but I really, really, really want to take this opportunity to speak to the regular girls. I feel like we always look up to celebrities for everything else, and this and the third. Keke took a stance for herself. Keke said no more. Keke said, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm done. And while we sit behind our computer screens and we think, oh, everybody is having, she has this and she has that. She's a woman at the end of the day with a man who looks like he is just praying and hoping and waiting. And I wouldn't even be surprised if he pops out with one of these influencers, these non-Black influencers, and is just, oh, I'm so great, I'm so this. He gets back in the gym and, tries to jab at her and harass her in these other ways, because these men that are, semi in the industry or even in the industry, they love a good harassment. They love to taunt and to flaunt and to do these things. But Keke girl, and to the regular girl who's ever listening, if you're going through something like this, you can get out. There are resources. You are strong enough. You are capable. You are worthy. And you don't deserve to be abused, period, and a point blank. I know this is a little bit heavy for a Friday, but girl, sometimes you just got to come with the real. And here's the other thing too. She can have a restraining order on this man today and maybe, be seen out with him in a couple of weeks, because that's how the cycle of abuse works. And I want to just, pre-warn us all to not drag, but to extend grace, because she's a young girl figuring it out like me and you, child. The only thing is she just got a microscope, over top of her life. And I want to know what you all think about this. Are we surprised? I am not surprised. You a mother. That was weird. And again, if you're listening and you've gone through something like this, sister, you got this. You can do this. It gets greater later. keep pushing, keep fighting, prioritize yourself, decenter that abusive man, and focus and work on yourself and love on yourself. And when you're loving on yourself properly, that's how you truly attract the love that you really deserve. And that's all I got for y'all. Drop down in the comments. Let me know what you think. As always, I'm sending you much love and much light, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.